the company that makes ChatGPT, urged lawmakers today to regulate the artificial intelligence industry.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman called the current tech boom a printing press moment. He says AI models are increasingly powerful and need government oversight to regulate ethical and safety risks.
We think that regulatory intervention by governments will be critical to mitigate the risks of increasingly powerful models. For example, the US government might consider a combination of licensing and testing requirements for development and release of AI models above a threshold of capabilities. I believe that companies like ours can partner with governments, including ensuring that the most powerful AI models adhere to a set of safety requirements.
Joining us now is Adam Kovacevich, the founder of Chamber of Progress. Adam, you advocate for all the good that technology brings to our lives. I want to ask you what you thought of today's hearing and the kind of questioning that senators had.
Well, first, I think it was really great and encouraging to see several senators kind of acknowledge the role that AI has already played in people's lives in a very practical way. So every time you go into Gmail, for example, and you hit that button to finish your sentence, what they call smart reply, that's artificial intelligence working. Autocorrect on your phone, that's artificial intelligence. And so we've been living with artificial intelligence, all of us, for years. But of course, it's making this big step forward with generative artificial intelligence. And that's going to bring all of these interesting new questions to the forefront about what's authoritative information, what about fakes, what about information quality. And I saw, frankly, Congress grappling with a lot of those questions, of course, highlighting their concerns. I would have liked to see Congress sort of express more optimism about what's possible through this technology. But I think that you saw a lot of the issues being surfaced that we'll be debating about AI really for the coming years.
Yeah, a lot of people still have a lot of questions about AI. So regarding those concerns, what are they worried about the most?
Well, I think you heard concerns, for example, about is AI going to be used to perpetuate discrimination? Frankly, we already have laws on the books dealing with anti-discrimination, and I think those laws can account for new applications of AI. I think you heard concerns about how will people know when information is being created that's authentic versus fake information. So when you go and you see an image that somebody shares on Twitter or Facebook, how do you know that it's real versus how do you know that it's been generated artificially? Google made announcements last week that they're building tools, for example, into Google image search that will help basically label and identify whether, for example, an image is new, it's been completely newly created, or whether it's something that's been existent as an image for a long time. And I think that will help to decipher things. There's also questions about what does it mean, for example, when you auto-generate a song, say in the style of the singer The Weeknd, does The Weeknd have a royalty to that? Do they have a copyright connection to that song, or is that something that can be created without their approval? What about crawling websites? How does that play into copyright law to create these really sophisticated answers that you see through things like ChatGPT and Bard? So all these are really interesting policy questions that we will be debating about AI in the coming years.
Yeah, we also heard a lot about election security. I mean, a wide range, though, like you're saying, too, even to the potential end of humanity as we know it. Do you think that lawmakers are overreacting? Are you afraid that they could over-legislate this?
I am afraid that they might over-legislate it. For example, you heard some talk of creating new federal agencies to regulate AI. That might be a fine idea, but I think it's a better idea to focus on what particular rules of the road do we want to see for AI, regardless of who enforces those rules. Look, technology works its best when we put it to use for us as human beings, when we use it to make our lives easier, to give us more time. And I believe that we humans will remain in control of that. We can decide. That's what we do through social norms and through laws about where a technology ends and our humanity begins. And so I'm not kind of an AI doomer. I think that AI has already brought a lot of efficiencies to our lives, and I think it will continue to be. I think a lot of AI applications, frankly, are going to be transformative, but then they'll also be boring. We'll get into a self-driving car that's powered by AI, and within minutes, we'll go from thinking it's cool to looking at our phones and being bored again. And so I just think a lot of these AI applications will be woven into our lives in very practical ways that will become boring then in a good way.
All right, Adam Kovacevich, the founder of the Chamber of Progress. It's a whole new world out there. Appreciate your insight tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Adam. You're watching Local News Live. We'll be right back.